That is supposed to be Bess on the cover. It looks more like Nancy. Bess is supposed to be holding a fake axe as part of a lumberjack comedy routine, but I guess the artist felt she would look way too suspicious if she had a weapon. Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review. For school, Nancy's boyfriend Ned is going to a minimum security prison. Bess and Nancy know one of the inmates, Matt Golden. Nancy has busted so many criminals over the years, I would be surprised if she didn't know anyone in the local jail. Matt claims he was framed for stealing money from a comedy club named Over the Rainbow. And yes, I did have the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow stuck in my head for the entire book. Matt became suspicious when the comedy club's profits doubled overnight. At the same time, they started making large anonymous purchases. A week later, someone planted a signed $10,000 check among Matt's things. Matt was arrested and sent to jail after the bank teller identified him in court. Ned talks to the people who run Over the Rainbow. The hands-off owner is Johnny Spector, a former comedian. Bianca Engel is the assistant manager who handles most of the work, and Tony Fry is the British barman. Shortly after this, an out-of-control truck driver tries to ram Ned's car off a bridge. I wonder if it's the bridge-destroying truck driver from the last book. Nancy and Bess get jobs at the comedy club. Nancy is a waitress, while Bess helps with stand-up. Good thing she already has the comedy routine memorized. Nancy overhears Tony and Bianca conspiring over how they had to get rid of a guy so Johnny won't know what they're up to. Nancy has a fruitless meeting with Matt's lawyer, and she gets a threatening phone call from the culprit. Nancy meets Keith O'Brien, the handsome young private investigator who handled the case 6 months ago. Keith isn't much of a detective. He's more interested in dating Nancy than solving crimes. I don't know why Matt hired Keith when Nancy is a much better detective who works for free. Nancy searches Bianca's office. She finds receipts for champagne, poker chips, and cards. Nancy realizes the comedy club is a cover for an illegal gambling operation. Nancy decides to collect this evidence once her shift is over. That gives the culprit a chance to knock Nancy out and get rid of all the evidence. Next time, Nancy, you should take the vital evidence right away, instead of saving it for later. Nancy questions Carla Jones, the bank teller from Matt's trial. Carla just came back from a free vacation to Hawaii. The hotel receipt shows Johnny paid for her trip. When confronted, Carla confesses she lied in court in exchange for her free vacation. At this point, I thought, no, Johnny can't be the culprit. No one would be stupid enough to use their real name when openly bribing a trial witness. It turns out I was wrong. Johnny is that stupid. It's kind of amazing he uses fake names for all his illegal business dealings, except for paying off witnesses. Tony and Bianca visit a supply store with gambling equipment, and they hide a box full of items. In the end, it's revealed they're being sneaky because they're planning a surprise party. As for the 2 suspects I didn't mention yet, their big secret is that they're dating each other. Nancy notes that well-dressed older couples frequent the dance club next door. They seem out of place, so Nancy follows them. They lead her directly to the secret casino. Keith is gambling there, so either he's in on the scheme, or the casino has terrible security. Nancy goes down a side staircase to avoid being seen. It leads directly to the stage of the comedy club. She interrupts Bess's routine. Considering how much alcohol people were drinking at the casino, I'm surprised people don't use this wrong staircase more often. Nancy searches Bianca's office again. She finds a hidden compartment in a locked desk drawer, which has the accounting books for the casino. The names in the book are written in code. It takes Nancy a while to figure out it's Keith and Johnny. Like I said, Johnny uses a fake name for everything, except when bribing people with plane tickets to Hawaii. Keith kidnaps Bess. He threatens to kill her unless Nancy gives up all the evidence. Nancy and the other characters search for Bess. They hear her banging on a pipe for help. They follow the noise to the basement, but it's a trap! Johnny and Keith are waiting with guns. Johnny makes a production out of explaining everything before he burns the evidence. He's so distracted he doesn't notice Nancy and Ned slowly moving themselves into position. Ned lunges at Keith while Nancy karate kicks Johnny. Without guns, the culprits are easily defeated. The end. Post-book follow-up. I liked the comedy club setting for this book, but there's a big problem. There are no jokes at the comedy club. We hear none of the stand-up routines. I wanted to see Bess and Rusty's routine from start to finish. Leaving that out of the book is a big letdown. Similarly, if you're trying to trick readers into thinking Johnny's a harmless old jokester, we should hear his jokes. The one joke we do hear is Johnny talking in a British accent, which doesn't translate well in the written word. Now that I think about it, the comedy club angle is fairly unimportant. The book could have taken place anywhere that has food or entertainment, and it'd be mostly the same. I suspect it wasn't at a dance club because they had one of those in an earlier book. The book is fast-paced and the characters work. Keith the culprit is not included in the book's suspect list. Like the last book, Ned does a good job helping out with the investigation. Bess does not. She's mostly there to be kidnapped at the end. I thought the book was fine. Just add jokes and don't have Johnny use his real name when bribing the witness halfway through. Knowing this series, though, it would probably try to improve this book by adding more romance with Keith. I give Nancy Drew Files number 79, No Laughing Matter, a 7 out of 10.